What's up, YouTube? Strike Entertainment back again with another video. Today we're going to be doing a reaction video. As you can see, I'm back at college, so my gameplay is going to be limited as I want to try and conserve some of it. So I'm kind of making up some videos on the fly here. Anyway, the reaction video I want to do is going to be of me reacting to my loadouts over the years of me playing. I have a series of pictures on my computer that I'm going to show you guys from, I think, goes back to like 3 years ago. I think something around there. And just kind of looking at and breaking down like the loadout that I used to run and just watching how it progressed and changed over the years of playing. I've got some pretty interesting and wacky looking stuff. I mean, you guys will see. So the first photo, I'm just going to jump right into this. The first photo is actually, I got a couple photos of this. I gotta look at the date. I pulled these off of my phone. This is like in December of my junior year of high school. So this should be like, what was it? 2018, December of 2018. So like 2 years ago, a little bit more than 2 years ago. This was like my Milsim Loadout, and this is literally all that I had before I really kind of transitioned into just doing the basic, black, like stuff. This is before I ended up getting my old Condor plate carrier that you guys have seen, like the tan, just very simple JPC type knockoff. Yeah, this one is an interesting loadout nonetheless. It was obviously my full multicam setup that I would use. I don't even know why I had a backpack on in one of these. This was the tan backpack that you see is the one that I actually use to carry my gear to the field when I go to play. Like, it's where I keep my belt, my helmet, and some of the little odds and ends. But this was obviously me prepping to like my Milsim loadout, where if I was like trekking like in long distances, which I never would be doing now. Yeah, also ignore the background. That was the like foyer of my old house. But yeah, I mean, this was a lot of gear. I mean, I still have actually most of it. I still have the plate carrier, but I don't run the same plate carrier. It was a Lancer Tactical multicam plate carrier that I had put. I think I used cardboard for the plates. I didn't actually have any of the dummy plates that I have now, so I just cut out cardboard, and that's honestly worked really, really well. Like, I feel like that's really underrated and not talked about enough. People think that if you have a plate carrier that you need to have plates in it, or you need to buy like the dummy plates or real plates or whatever. If you just get a piece of cardboard from like a simple cardboard box and size it to your plate carrier, it works. It's actually a little bit more sturdy than some of the plates. It doesn't fill it as much, so you're not going to have as much of the bulk, but at least gives you a little bit more of like a protection aspect of it. The gun I'm using is my VFC Avalon that I still have and I still use. I haven't used that in a while, but it's still the same helmet. This was my tan helmet that I had. That is actually the exact same helmet that I still run. It's just without the helmet cover. And as you can tell, I don't have my GoPro on there, so this is before I actually started filming anything. So I have like the goggles on there. I look like I was jumping into somewhere in the Middle East or something. It looked weird. I have the same medical pouch. I still have that. I don't really run it anymore. Yeah, this was interesting. This obviously evolved a lot when I realized I don't need to be carrying this much gear. So it, obviously transitioned as I got older and more into it. All right, moving to the next picture. So this is when I first started coming to Troy. This was the just before I got the GoPro, obviously. So this was like my first ever season playing when I was at Troy. It was a gray hoodie that I actually have with me at college. I would wear that because it's just simple hoodie and jeans. My blue jeans that I still wear that I have for just everyday use. I got some old skateboarding knee pads that you guys have heard like probably a million times, but that's what I wore. I wore those, and then I just ran a very simple belt, and then my plate carrier. The face mask, like mesh thing that I used was a ski mask, like a half ski mask that you'd use if you went, doing skiing or snowboarding or whatever. I would run that as my face because it had, like, I could breathe out of it, and I didn't want to wear the mesh cage because it kind of got in the way. Like, the way that it comes around your head got in the way of my ear pro, so I didn't like it. But as you can see, then I kept the same goggles that I had, and then my Avalon that's there. I can tell when I really kind of started to like change, or like my gear would evolve, just by what my gun had. If you look at the very bottom of my Avalon, there's like a small suppressor that's obviously painted to match the gun. That's the mock suppressor that came with it. I ended up changing that out when I went to the Extreme Airsoft 10-year event that was, or 10-year like celebration of 10 years, whatever, their 10-year anniversary basically. It's where I met Jet Desert Fox, which was really cool. I ended up buying and got a ASG tracer unit, which is still the tracer unit that I have, and that ended up replacing the mock suppressor, so I had a tracer unit. And that's kind of really when I changed, and my loadout really started to progress and change. Yeah, so that is really kind of how I differentiate it. It went from, it's my own version of just knowing when things went from kind of, you know, every other weekend to them playing really, really serious, really competitive competitive, you know what I mean? But yeah, so that was there. That's how I just kind of differentiate and tell what some of this is. That's how I'm able to tell when things kind of just change and roll over, because even still, the belt changes. I can, because it's not as pronounced. I don't even know what I wore for a belt. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Okay, so that answers my question. This next picture is kind of, it's the same time frame. When I answered my question about what is the belt that I'm using, it was like an inner belt. I didn't realize at the time that there was inner and outer belts, so I was using an inner belt, a Condor like inner belt, but it was like a cheap one. It was like 20 bucks that I bought. So it was really minimalistic. It was really, really small. So it didn't take up as much on my waist. And so that answers my question as to what I was using. This picture here is still the same time frame. I think this was taken I think it was the exact same day as well. So nothing here has really changed, but that just kind of figured out what I was running for a belt. But yeah, I mean, I kind of like this one. It looks, the goggles on top kind of is a nice little look, but I can't use that anymore with my GoPro. It just will look strange, and especially if it's tan. If the tan goggles with the black helmet, it just would look weird. All right, so then moving on. So I'm kind of making this into like the different generations, like I'm like the, you know, the mark system that you'd see, like, you know, Mark 1 or Mod 1, Mod 2, Mod 3. So this would be like generation, what was it, 1, 2? This would be generation 3 of stuff. I thought I was hot shit with me flicking off the camera. I don't know why. Yeah, this was then when I was this is when I was then changing to go to the 10-year event. This was literally the day of. I remember this. So this was when, yeah, I was going to the 10-year event. And this is when I took it. It was in the summertime. So this was like literally taken the day of, before I then transitioned to like Gen 4, when I got my tracer unit, the new belt, some just little odds and ends. The only thing really that's changed would be the pants. I went for black jeans. This was the start of me going into that all black theme loadout. That's what I was going for. I knew that's what I wanted to use. I had seen people at Troy playing indoors with all black, and I just thought it was awesome. I mean, you can never go wrong with all black. It looks cool. Is it overused? Yes. Does it still look cool? Yes. So yeah, this is where I kind of started to change it. This was, yeah, a black set of jeans that I got with some just old high tops that I would run around with. Same knee pads, same belts, same plate carrier, same everything, except for just my clothing changed. And I think this was just a black, I think it was a black like Adidas zip up like sweatshirt type thing. That's literally what I would run, because it wasn't too heavy, it wasn't bulky, and it would still like let you breathe. So yeah, this is the next generation of stuff. My clothing is now just changed. So yeah, this will be my Gen 4 stuff. This was right after Christmas of 2019. So this was taken in like January of 2020. So this is, yeah, 2 months before COVID. And the reason I can tell that is because I've got the face mask now, you can tell has changed. It's now the skull face mask, which is what I use now. That was something that I got. It was like a Christmas care package that I had asked for, was just little odds and ends. I got the helmet cover. I got the rail adapters you can see up in the top corner, that go for my headset. Small little odds and ends. I got the new white light flashlight. I'm kind of just incorporating both of these with the kind of Troy City when I got my GoPro, because nothing really changed much once I got the GoPro. It was same clothing. It was just small little accessories or, helmet cover, rail adapters, new flashlight on the gun, just little odds and ends that you can't, very, very minuscule that you can't really see all that much. Even like my holster didn't really, I think I got a new holster, possibly. Excuse me. And then, this is a picture posing with Jathan, who you guys have seen in a few of the more recent videos. This is what he looked like, and this is how we would play with his, he got a drum mag for his Novrich SSP-1 with a tracer unit, and he would just run around like an absolute madman with his dye mask. But yeah, so that's basically the Gen 4 gear. It's still the same Avalon. It's still painted. I don't know if I actually have any gameplay of me. Actually, no, I do. I have some that you guys have seen that where it actually ends up getting sprayed back to going to black because I got bored. It happens, it's a typical thing that happens in Airsoft all the time, where you just run into getting bored of the gear that you run, so you end up changing it a little bit. And so, I got bored of the multicam type paint that I ended up spraying, so I sprayed it all back to go back to black, and you guys will see that, I think, in the next photo. It'll be all black. Oh, no, never mind. So move into the next one. So then we'll call this will be Gen 5. This is then the next, I guess, step to the to the all black loadout. This was me prepping, for Operation Rochambeau 2, I think, the Patriot Games or something. This was my first serious milsim that I went to, like an organized one where you had to pay for it, and there was like a strict objective. So this then changed. I was running the turtleneck, which I was using at Troy, but I went to black pants and I changed the boots. So I'm now using the same boots that I run now. Same knee pads to what I used at Troy, but I'm still running tan gear. I got the black helmet cover because the rule was for the event that you, depending on what team you were on, it was black and green were on one team and then multicam was another. So we were on the black team. So if you're going to be on the black team, your clothing, your articles of clothing, not your gear, had to be of the team color. So if you were black and green, it had to be black. And same thing with your helmet. Your head cover or whatever you're running on your head had to be the color that matches your team. So I had to invest in a black helmet cover, which is the same helmet cover that I run now. I think I've changed my helmet cover, but you get the point. It went to black. So you're kind of seeing how I'm phasing in the black, all black like loadout and look. I got rid of the face mask because I was now at that point, I was 18. I've been 18 for like 6 months, but I wasn't playing indoor. I was playing outdoor, so I just invested in a mouth guard, and I didn't really need to worry about getting shot in the face. And then you can see with the gun, it was still the Avalon. I changed the stock to a GMP stock, and I sprayed it all black. So now you can tell the gun is now all black. So yeah, that's then the next generation of, this was taken in the summer of 2020. So this was, 7-8 months ago. I think this was like June. So yeah, 6-7 months ago. So that's my Gen 5. And then moving on to then July, I ended up going for and got a new plate carrier, which is I got the all black plate carrier, and then I got the black belt. And this is when Garrett and I eventually then met. This was one of the pictures. This was then like the famous picture that then started Strike Entertainment. This picture was one that, because he was doing his kind of promotional picture, and he's like, hey, I need one from you too so we can do it. So I went in the foyer, the same foyer where you've seen all the same mirror pictures, and I put it on like a pedestal, flipped the phone around, and did a timer. And I shined a light. I just did some touch-ups on it, put a filter over it so it just didn't look, so just to match the color, did some color grading, whatever. And then this is what it ended up turning into. I went to the black jeans that I wore when I would play at Troy, but the plate carriers, now the plate carrier that I run, I've moved some things around, I can tell. Gun is now all black. You can see the selfie cam. Same white light, same PEC box, same tracer unit, whatnot. And then the black helmet cover. And then you're going to see in the next picture is of the picture that was our old channel art that we had that we would run, or that was the season 1 channel art, that was the same gear as when Garrett and I made Strike Entertainment, which it was made in July of 2020. That was the photo op that we did. That was the same exact gear that I was running. And so to this day, I'm still running the same helmet, the same plate carrier. It's a different belt setup. Like I got a different belt because I didn't like that it wasn't two pieces. I kind of wanted an inner and outer so I can kind of interchange things, which you guys will see in a second. But then yeah, this was like the Gen 6 I think stuff. Yeah, this is my Gen 6 gear. And then going to when we went, this is what I was wearing when I went to college. You know, I went to college, this was the gear that I had. I ordered a bunch of stuff for when I came back. Some things got changed around, and then the new picture of the Strike Entertainment page that we have now is of us in the kind of the Gen 7, where Garrett's now got an all new loadout for gear. My gun has changed. I went for now the combat pants and the combat shirt. You know, the new belt, we both went for the same drop leg type holster, similar to how T-Rex Arms does it with the UBL mid-ride thing. So you have the band around your thigh. Why can't I think of that? Because I didn't like the fact of having a drop leg. It kept moving around when I would run, so I ran it up higher. You know, I got a back panel. I got a bunch of different things. And then this was then the next generation. This was the 7th gen of gear for me, and this is what I currently run. Nothing has changed since I've left. I'm probably going to continue to run a lot of this. The only thing that's going to then change will be small things, like I'm probably going to upgrade my gun, and that was one of the biggest things that changed, was my gun. I got a brand new gun. I went for the Salient Arms Gray, which you guys have seen in multiple gameplay videos now. And yeah, so then this was just my next integration of gear. And this is still what I end up running. You know, there's a couple different pictures from what we have. And this is, like I said, I've said this a million times, this is what we use now. Nothing's really going to change. You know, we're going to keep going, rolling with the punches, whatever I need to do. And then if things need to change, I need to switch things up. I haven't done my multicam setup just yet. I have a brand new multicam, like gear-wise. I can change my helmet cover out. I got a multicam plate carrier and belt that I have set up. I just have to fix my holster because I can't really run the same holster that I have because it's weird the way it's set up. So that's something I have to get into that I haven't really put much time into since I didn't expect to be playing Milsim. And I really don't anytime soon unless we do stuff over the summer, but you know, who knows, maybe. But yeah, that's really what it's ended up coming into. This was the same gear that I ran all throughout the wintertime. And that's what you guys have seen. So that's gonna pretty much wrap it up, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm probably gonna do a little bit more of like a reaction-based stuff with some gameplay here and there, since my gameplay is eventually gonna run out. But I have a lot of cool ideas. If you guys have any ideas on what you guys want to see, follow us on Instagram, DM us, shoot us DMs. We're pretty good with our DMs, I'd like to say. Comment on this video, leave a like because it really does help us out. And if you stayed to the end of the video, man, massive thumbs up. Thank you. It means a lot to us. It's massive support to the channel. And anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. See ya.